Hey y'all, Bill Quirk with the Defensive Training Group and Shoot GTR. So we just got through doing a quick video on stock guns versus custom guns, and in that video I made reference to this pistol, my Glock 26, my Gen 3 Glock 26 that I had laying over the side, and said we're going to talk about that, and now we're going to talk about it. So first thing I want to start out this little video segment on is it's about to get nice and hot here. Summer's coming in Florida. And it's not uncommon, I see this a lot out here on the range, that people have their shooting gun, the guns they take to the range and actually train and practice with, and then they've got their carry guns, which are usually smaller, maybe less featured, less capable pistols, but they're easier for them to carry in their day-to-day lives. And I get it. Now, those of you that know me know that I generally will carry a full-size pistol, and the ones we were talking about in the previous video, Gen 5 Glock 17s, those are representative of what I'm normally going to carry. That's a decision that I make based on my background, being a retired cop, full-time firearms instructor these days. I carry tools commensurate to the job. So it's not saying that you have to, it's the choice that I've made. A lot of people do have guns that they practice with and then guns that they actually carry, and that's fine. You have to do what's going to make sense for you. However, let's go back to defining the mission, something that I've talked about. I talk about in my classes. When we're picking our defensive firearm, a carry gun in this case particularly, we want to recognize first and foremost what is the mission. The mission is that this thing is going to potentially defend my life, save my life. So it's got to be something that I can shoot effectively, I can fight with, and also something that is utterly reliable. And that's where we get into a problem, is we'll come out with our bigger guns that we feel better about shooting, that we perform better with, and we neglect the smaller guns. And that's the point that I'm going to be making today, is you can't do that. Even if you've got a bigger gun you shoot and a smaller gun that you carry, you can't neglect that smaller gun. Now, as I've discussed in previous classes, the idea of looking at a commonality, a system type approach between your bigger gun and your smaller gun is a good idea. So if you have a Glock 17 and a Glock 26 or a Glock 43X as your carry gun, there's a lot of commonality between the two. The controls are similar, the sights can be the same, the triggers can be the same, a lot of similarity in the feel and whatnot. So if you train more with the bigger gun, carry the smaller gun, you're going to get some transfer back and forth, and that's ideal. Having said that, the smaller gun is a smaller gun, so it's not something that you want to just ignore. You do need to come out, you need to test it, make sure it's reliable, make sure that you can perform with it to an acceptable level, and all those kind of things. So today, because I practice what I preach, so this is not so much a carry gun for me, this is my backup gun. And I've chosen it because it does accept the larger magazines from my Glock 17, which is my duty gun. And this one has been modified a little bit. I just got it back from my gunsmith, Wizards Custom Guns down in Ocala, Florida, and they did this multicam black motif on the slide here. And because Cerakote does add a little bit as far as the tolerances, it does affect the tolerances a little bit, I want to go ahead and run some rounds through this thing to make sure that it is going to function reliably and still do what I need it to do. So the gun itself, the grip has been stippled by my buddies up in Michigan at Great Lakes Custom Works. The slide has been milled to accept a hollow sun. In this case, it's a hollow sun 507C, and I have my suppressor sights here. So we're going to go ahead, get our eyes and ears on. I already got my eyes on, my ears on, and we're going to go out and put some rounds through this thing and just see how it runs. All right, so now we're out here on the range, got our eyes and ears. We're going to put a magazine through this and just make sure that it runs for me. Stand by. All good. Obviously, one magazine isn't really enough to confirm, so I'm going to do some more shooting with this. But this makes the point. When you get these things back from having work done, you got to test them to make sure they still run. And the point of this video, if you've got a smaller gun that's your regular carry gun, make sure you don't neglect it. Get it out, work with it, at least occasionally, even if you've got a bigger Glock in this case that's your primary training gun or competition gun, don't neglect your carry gun as well, because this is the one, if the chips are down, that you may be depending on. Y'all stay safe.